Hey guys, welcome to Nyonya Cooking. I'm going to show you how to better the aroma of your dishes by preparing fried shallots and also shallots oil. Now this sounds very simple, but there are actually a few tips and tricks that I would like to share with you. Now without further ado, let's jump into the recipe. But before that, the ingredients. We'll need some shallots. I've already sliced them, and then water, oil. You may use peanut oil or even vegetable oil, but not olive oil because the taste will be too strong, some salt, and also corn flour. The steps to prepare this are really very simple, and you may have been buying fried shallots all this while. So if you're asking me why you should prepare this, first of all, the taste is just so much better, and then you'll get to also prepare shallots oil which you can use for your dishes, and then there are no preservatives. So I'm going to teach you. First of all, we'll need to add some salt to the water. Mix it until the salt has dissolved. And all you need to do is to then pour it onto the shallots. Well, there's no measurement here because the rule is to ensure that the water covers the shallot, and we're going to soak these shallots for about 10 minutes. Now all these steps that I'm showing you here will ensure that your shallots are really crispy and they will also last longer. While soaking the shallots, we are going to prepare the pan. So I have this pan already slightly heated up, and then we're going to pour the oil into the pan. Now to fry shallots, you really need to ensure that the oil is preheated, or else when you fry the shallots, it's not going to fry up properly, then it turns soggy and it will be a failure. Now after 10 minutes, we have drained the water, and now we have to just pat the shallot slices dry. So I'm doing this with the help of some paper towel. Just spread it on. The next step is to pour the shallot slices back into the bowl. And remember the corn flour that we had earlier? I'm just going to sprinkle it onto the shallots, and this would really help to give the crispiness to the shallots. Very, very carefully, I'm just going to mix it well. Okay, and now let's go back to the pan and we'll see if it's ready to fry the shallots. So what you can do is hover your hand again over the pan, and you can feel the heat. And we can always test by adding a small piece of shallot. Okay, you see bubbles? That means it's ready. Once you know it's ready, it's time to put the rest of the shallots into the pan. Now depending on the size of the pan and the amount of shallots that you have, I'm just going to go by half first so that it has enough of space to move and that it will brown properly. When frying, it is also very important to note the temperature of the oil should not be too hot, or else it would really burn the shallots very quickly, and then it would taste very bitter because everything is going to happen too fast once you are having a very brown or golden brown shallots. So make sure that the heat is just nice, and when I mean just nice, means that when we put the shallots down, it bubbles immediately, it starts frying up, and then it shouldn't be too low or else you'll get very soggy shallots. Another tip of having crispy shallots is to add a pinch of salt once you have added the shallot slices. So at about 15 minutes to 20 minutes, you realize that it's starting to turn golden brown like this. And that's when you need to be very, very careful and also fast. So over here I have a plate with fresh kitchen towels, and we're just going to scoop this aside. At this rate, we are just going to bring it out from the oil. Now what's happening here is that even though we have scooped this out of the oil, you realize that it tends to turn slightly more brown. And it's really purely because of the heat from the oil, which will continue cooking the shallots. The fried shallots are now done. So if you want to prepare fried shallots, this is how it looks like. All you need to do is just cool it down to room temperature and then store it in a bottle. You can either store it in the refrigerator or also in a cool place. Normally I keep them up to 2 weeks, but it can go up to 1 month. So I'm going to continue frying the second batch, and to get shallots oil, all you need to do is just strain whatever excess shallots and store the oil in another container or a glass bottle and just leave it aside or in the fridge. And just because I have another bowl of shallots here, which I did not fry yet, I'm going to fry them in the same oil and then strain it later on to get the shallots oil. Before cooking, the smell of fresh shallots was overpowering my whole house, and now the aroma of fried shallots, they are just so delicious, and I can't wait to add them to the other recipes. But before that, I just wanted to show you it's ready now, and you can hear the music to your ears. It is really crispy. Now let's just take one. Wow, I think I can snack on this. Just have a cold carbonated beverage and then just snack on this during a movie. I don't know, it's just so delicious. I can't wait to have them on porridge, vegetables, rice, noodles, stew. It's just so good, you have to try it. Now I hope you got all the tips, and if you have not, head on to my website www.nyonyacooking.com for the full recipe, and I've listed down all the tips and tricks there, so remember to get them. And I can't wait to see photos of recipes that you have tried from nyonyacooking.com. Remember to upload them while you are there, and give me a thumbs up while you are watching this video if you enjoyed it. Do not forget to also subscribe to Nyonya Cooking if you have not. I can't wait to see you in other videos. Until then, happy cooking!